Assalamu alaikum. My name is Dr. Shahida Bazarat, and today I would like to talk about the serious challenges that Pakistan is faced with, and we will look at this in the global scenario. If you know that for the last from 15th century onwards, we've had a capitalist system based in Western countries, and there were countries like Spain and Netherlands that were, the centers of power in those times. And then, since the British took over, we find that there were three challenges to this established order. First, there was Napoleon of France, and the British met this challenge by defeating Napoleon in 1815. And the second challenge was from Germany, which was in two episodes, the First World War and the Second World War. And the British met this challenge also. And but the British also lost their superpower status. And after the Second World War, the US emerged as a superpower. And then they had the third challenge, which was from the Soviet Union. And the US met this challenge by defeating met this challenge through the demise of the Soviet Union in 1991. So it is against this scenario that we find ourselves uh, in Pakistan and also at the global level. And then, if we were to talk about the 4-day Indo-Pakistan War in May 2025, um, which strengthened Pakistan's position at the global level. It led to India's defeat by a country much smaller in size, um, and but we had very, our armed forces and our equipment was far superior to Indian armed forces and their equipment, and and we were able to display the superiority of the Chinese and Pakistani military technology, which was actually now tested in a war situation, and and it has led to a lot of demand for our, J-17 Thunder and J-10 aircrafts. Um, Another thing that this short war did was to bring about greater closeness between, China and Pakistan always stood together and they've been very reliable allies, but it also brought Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran, and Turkey and Bangladesh, Azerbaijan, and many other countries on one platform. Some of them have started purchasing Chinese and Pakistani aircrafts and equipment, and this is the kind of scenario that we find ourselves in. This is the present, situation. And then, if you look at even during the war, we find that uh, President Trump started extending, a hand of friendship to Pakistan, and he started giving a lot of statements in favor of Pakistan and against the Indian government, particularly Modi, and um, and in fact, he started saying things which seemed very, which apparently was annoying to the Indians, and it looked like as if he was just trying to, um, belittle Modi. And obviously, some of the things he's saying are right, but normally, statesmen don't talk in that language. But it appeared that um, it appears that Trump is actually, I personally feel that he's posturing. Um, Obviously, some of the things he's saying about India to belittle India are correct, and I agree with them. But I think to say them publicly, I think This is more of a posturing than actually uh, trying to extend a hand of friendship to Pakistan. And the question is, why is he posturing? Why is he trying to present himself as a friend of Pakistan? That is the question. And also, I personally feel that for the last many years, the United States, India, Japan, Australia, UK, they all were in one group. And they were trying, I mean, there was this kind of, uh, you know, animosity with the China and the rise of China, and they were very opposed to the CPEC and the BRI, and India was also. I mean, they were literally, the way they were behaving. That Chinese engineers and Chinese professors and intellectuals and uh, Chinese nationals were actually being killed in Pakistan by some of these countries. Now, obviously, we don't have proof to say which one, but they were all out to get the Chinese in Pakistan and to drive them out of Pakistan and to drive out Chinese investments from Pakistan. Uh, but then, after Trump imposed this tariff on India and other countries as well, but since he imposed this tariff on India, I think they're trying to show that there is some sort of a, um, uh, worsening of relations between India and um, the United States. Now, obviously, some people might agree that this is worsening of relations, but I personally feel that this is posturing. And why are they posturing? Because you see, when there are situations like this, then you can't take things on their face value, because you have to see what is the real agenda behind these happenings and these statements. I personally feel that the agenda is that if you can't beat them, join them. I think the United States feels now that for the last so many years, the United States tried that and India should try and give competition to China. It should outmaneuver China, but that did not happen. China is far ahead of India, and I think with this war, the Indo-Pakistan war, the Americans and the West realized that India is nowhere near China. It is not in a position to give any competition to China. So now I think they've changed their strategy, and they are now saying that India will not be able to beat China. So India should try and get into the group, and that is why there is this posturing about this worsening of relations between India and the United States, to show to the world that there is worsening of relations, and that is why India is joining the Chinese camp. But actually, the idea is that if you can't beat them, join them. So I think India will now try to fight China from within the group, because otherwise Pakistan and China and Russia and all these other countries, Turkey and Iran, they are a very homogeneous group, and they are very, they are going to be strengthening the group. But I think India will get into the group to, on this basis of facade between India and the United States. So that is what I feel, and I also feel that the idea is for India to get into the group and to then start the fight from within the group. And the other thing that I feel that they're trying to do is the United States is trying to do is it's not trying to provide any development to Pakistan, because if you look at the last 75 years of our history, the United States has not given anything to Pakistan. If you look at the U.S. as a strategic partner, then we know that for the last 75 years, we never got any support from the United States or UK. in the 1971 war, when we thought that the United States is coming in our aid, the Seventh Fleet never arrived. And then, when we were trying to become an atomic power, the US imposed pressless sanctions on Pakistan. And in the 1980s, US did not provide F-16s, even though we had paid for them. And the US did not provide civilian nuclear technology to Pakistan, which it provided to India. And US, UK have used us to fight their wars, and we have lost a large number of our, personnel, armed forces personnel. It has destabilized the country, and in the so-called war against terror, we lost more than 80,000 of our people, civilians, and armed forces personnel. And it also tarnished our relationship with Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran, Afghanistan, Russia. And if you look at the development provided, if you look at the role the World Bank has played in the IPPs, it has played a very, very shabby role, and it has given us these IPPs which have become such a nuisance to Pakistan. And when we turn to the IMF for help, then the IMF conditionalities have ruined our economy through and they have reduced our rates of growth. They have worsened the distribution of income. They have increased poverty levels, and they have brought a lot of turmoil to this country. And whereas if you look at the Chinese, then China has been a source of great help to Pakistan, and it has provided development through CPEC. It has helped us militarily through development of missile technology, jointly manufacturing of JF-17 Thunder, providing a state-of-the-art defense equipment and technology, and civilian nuclear technology, and so many other things. Now, if past is an indicator of what will happen in the future, we can say confidently that the US talk about exploring oil in Pakistan will not result in providing any development or any oil to Pakistan. It is really like, it is, I mean, if they haven't done this for the last 75 years, how can you expect them to suddenly provide oil to, I mean, help in exploring oil to Pakistan? The only idea is their purpose is to ensure that Pakistan uh, continues its past relationship, which was not based on equality with the Western countries, particularly United States and UK, and that we don't become an important member of the, the Chinese. The China is now going to be a world power, and all the countries aligned with China, Pakistan has been very closely aligned with China. And if Pakistan stays stays on path, then Pakistan will become a very, very strong country at the global level. And I think the idea, and then this will have very serious repercussions on the new world order that will be coming, because the new world order is going to change radically the present world order, which is based on injustice, which is based on cruelty, which is almost, it is a very, very, you can see the present world order in the form of what is happening in Kashmir, Jammu, Kashmir, and Ladakh. You can see what is happening in Palestine, Yemen, etc., in all these other countries, and the way the very, very shabby treatment meted out to developing countries. So this is the kind of world order that the rise of China and the rise of other countries with China will bring about a change in this world order. And I think the idea is to ensure that Pakistan is not a part of this group, that Pakistan continues with its unequal relationship with the United States and United Kingdom, and that we continue this slave kind of slavery for the next several centuries, whereas India gets inducted into this group and India starts playing an important role. And since India is a Western ally, and it is also very close to Israel, then India will try to make sure that when China rises at the global level as a superpower, that this world order is not changed to the benefit of Muslims, and it is not changed to the benefit of Kashmiris and Palestinians. So that is why I think it is very important that Pakistan should not fool itself, and we should not think that the United States is going to give us anything, and we should remain steady on our present path, and we should continue with our close economic and strategic relationship with the People's Republic of China, and we should continue to bring Turkey and Islamic Republic of Iran and Afghanistan and Bangladesh and all these countries together. I think together we will be very strong, and China is already a very strong country, and when we ally ourselves with China, all of us can play a very important role in changing the world order to the benefit of developing countries and to the benefit of Muslim countries, which will not be possible if Pakistan goes back to its unequal relationship with the United States and United Kingdom. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.